when this door's open. the shade.
Good morning, everybody. We will start in a couple of minutes. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody feeling today? My name is Greg Wilson. I am the Dean of Applied Technology at Pima Community College, and I'd like to be the first of, I'm sure will be several, to welcome you to the Aviation Technology Center. This is a happy occasion because we get to come together as a community and recognize the efforts of so many and the result. So with that, please be patient because we are going to thank a lot of people during today's celebration. And it's also somewhat of a sad occasion. I just want to take a moment just to let everyone know that we learned yesterday afternoon that we lost a member of our community, aviation student Richard Nussbaumer, and we would just like to take a moment of silence in his honor. Thank you. Today's event is taking place on the ancestral lands of the Tohono O'odham Nation and the Pasquayaqui tribe, whose people have been living and working on this land since time immemorial. So I'd like to start with some quick facts that you may not know, and we'll kind of sprinkle these throughout the morning ceremony. First, the Aviation Technology Center has just increased from 35,000 square feet to just over 87,000 square feet. And we are going to do tours at the end, so you'll get to see everything up close. The cost of the project was $21 million, and the facility contains 5 new classrooms, 5 new labs, a brand new tool crib, a break room, nice new offices for the team that's right behind you, and a lot more. So we're going to share a little bit about that as we go through the morning. But at this time, I would like to welcome our board chair, Kat Ripley.
Thank you, Greg. And good morning, welcome, and hallelujah. I think fall has arrived in Tucson. So here we are. And maybe not for you guys in the sun over there, for this group. But what I really want to say before I go on to some other words is thank you, students. Look at the students here. They're wearing their shirts and their hats. And yeah, this is for you. This is why we're here. It's all for you. And we're really happy that we could use this day to celebrate you and so many other people. We're so pleased to have Greg Wilson open this up because he was, leading the charge for quite some time, as well as Chancellor Lee Lambert. So thank you so much. The expansion of this amazing, magnificent facility, if you look at it, everything that's in the light blue and on is the new piece. It's pretty phenomenal with the still beautiful old piece over there. Um, right, guys? So thank you so much. It will not only help accommodate the demand for enrollment for this program, basically by doubling the capacity, is what I'm hearing, but most importantly, addressing a severe shortage in the aviation technician field in this region. So this is an important step. On behalf of the Pima Community College Board and greater family, let me first acknowledge and recognize our amazing elected officials. There's quite a few of you scattered, and your representatives. You're here today and have shown immense support, belief in, and love for Pima Community College and this community. You've recognized Pima Community College as the steadfast heart and soul of our community, providing hope, as well as first, second, third, sometimes fourth chances at success for so many people in the greater Tucson area. And so with that, I first want to acknowledge our Pima Community College board members that are here today. We have our Vice Chair, Damian Klinko, and we have board member Meredith Hay. And I also want to recognize our former board member, Mark Hanna, who was instrumental during his tenure in really seeing that this was going to happen and this day would happen. Thank you for being here, Mark. Our Pima Foundation board members are not elected, but let's acknowledge their work. We've got Marcy Euler, and we have Patricia Houston, Lance Jones, Gemma Thomas, and Paula Van Ness. Thank you so much. Pima Foundation can't even begin to say how much you've done for us. Thank you. We also have State Senator Vince Leach and State Senator David Gowan. Thank you so much for fighting for the funding without which we wouldn't be here today as well. So thank you for fighting the fight. Jan Lesher, Pima County Administrator. Sure, Jan. Laura Conover, Pima County Attorney. Big supporter. Andrew Bevington, Office of Pima County School Superintendent. Dustin Williams. We have Brendan Lyons, Southern Arizona Office of Governor Ducey. Carla Avalos, the Office of U.S. Senator Mark Kelly. Cassandra Becerra, Office of U.S. Representative Raul Grijalva. Troy Kimball, Office of U.S. Senator Kristen Sinema. Billy Kovacs, Office of U.S. Representative Ann Kirkpatrick. Antonio Ramirez, the Office of Vice Mayor Lane Santa Cruz. Richard Frimbres, Tucson City Council Member, Ward 5. Richard. And Pat Burns, Office of Tucson City Council Member Paul Cunningham, Ward 2. Thank you so much, elected officials. We need you. We're still going to need you. So, don't sit too easy. We're going to still be calling you up for a lot of stuff in the future. Thank you so much for representing us and for being big supporters. We thank the state of Arizona, our donors, our aviation partners, the architects and builders, and all of the college employees whose partnership, hard work, and vision has made this day, this dream possible. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, students, again. Greg.
Thank you, Kat. At this time, I would like to welcome our Vice Chair of the Board, Damian Klinko.
On behalf of the Governing Board, welcome to the PCC Aviation and Technology Center. We are anxious to show you around in a few moments. 21st century partnerships, 21st century programs require strong partnerships. Business, government, and the college working together to meet the needs of students, businesses, for skilled workforce, and our community to promote economic growth. Moments like this don't come just automatically. It takes a huge amount of work, and it takes an extraordinary bipartisan collection of individuals. And again, I just want to stress our gratitude to Senator Vince Leach and Senator David Gowan for their championing the funding of this program. And to Doug Ducey's office for putting it into their budget, and Matt Gress, who was the budget director, for making sure that this project had a chance to come to fruition. In addition to their incredible support, it took all of you to make this happen. Our partners from around this community went to Phoenix, talked to this at state conferences and meetings, and advocated to ensure that this funding would flow to Southern Arizona, because this is part of a bigger strategy for Pima College, which is building centers of excellence that align to the industries of Southern Arizona so that people in our community can get careers with high-paying wages without going into debt. And this facility is the manifestation and reality of that. So we're so excited. In 2018, when this expansion was first proposed, about 30% of the current ranks of aircraft mechanics were at or near retirement age. And those workers are still retiring faster than they can be replaced. Boeing pilot and technician outlook projects that 754,000 new airline maintenance technicians will be needed worldwide over the next 20 years. And in addition, Economic Modeling Specialists, Inc. estimates a 40% increase in aviation jobs for Southern Arizona alone. That's compared to the national average of 10%. Pima County represents the largest concentration of aviation occupations in Southern Arizona, which is why this facility is key to Southern Arizona's economic growth. It's such a pleasure to have you all here. I also want to just quickly acknowledge Scott Stewart, a former board member of Pima College, who's with us today, and we look forward to showing you around.
Thank you, Damien. At this time, I would like everyone to welcome our Chancellor, Lee Lambert.
Well, good morning, everybody. Such a great morning to be out here, and as our board chair said, fall has clearly arrived, and thank goodness. So as noted, there's so many people to thank, but I want to first and foremost, thank the men and women who decide to choose a career in aviation technician. So let's give it up to these students. In many ways, we all hear about the pilot shortage, but equally as important, in some cases maybe even more important, are these unsung heroes. So thank you for choosing a career in this area. Today is not only a celebration of the completion of this project, but it's important to the aviation industry, as noted earlier. I also want to just say a few special thank yous. Senator Leach, thank you for your incredible support to bring this across the finish line. You and Senator Gowan, you're a dynamic duo that we knew by partnering with you, we're going to get this across the finish line, and you both delivered in spades, so thank you, thank you, thank you. You're going to hear from Dave. Where's Dave at? Dave Curio? Dave? Okay. Dave joined us up in Phoenix as we were making that push with the legislature, and I just want to say thank you to you, Dave, and much appreciated. Also, is Mark Gaspers here? Mark? So I just want to thank Mark as well. His push from the Boeing side, even though Boeing's presence is much heavy up in the Phoenix area, nonetheless, they are an important partner to us here in Southern Arizona, and specifically here. So thank you, Mark and the Boeing Company. Also, this would not happen without the leadership and a vision of a governor. And we knew that Governor Ducey had put so much emphasis around economic development and building the talent pipeline that's necessary to support the success of business and industry in our state. So I want to thank Governor Ducey and his team for their great support of this incredible project. And as Dean Wilson mentioned earlier, this was a $21 million project in which the legislature contributed and the governor $15 million. We could not have made this happen without the great support of the state of Arizona. Also, I want to thank some of my internal team here. Dr. David Doré, who is president of our campuses, and he has the responsibility to make sure all these projects that we've been working on get through the lengthy, arduous process at time, but more importantly, get to the finish line. So thank you, David. I want to thank Dr. Dolores Duran-Cerda, because all of the programming side comes under her leadership, and so thank you, Dolores. And Greg, thank you again, because you've really taken that vision and executed it in spades. Appreciate it. But Greg relies on having a great set of directors who oversee the different program areas in his portfolio. And in this case, for aviation, it's Jason Bowersock. Jason, where are you? Thank you so much. Also want to thank the men and women in our facilities department, because they oversee the frontline project management of these great facilities that we have built across the district, and especially this one. So give it up for our facilities department. IT is becoming more and more critical to the success of any building project, so let's give it up to our IT department and team. Thank you. And at the end of the day, someone's got to oversee the acquisition of equipment, materials, and manage the resources that come in and make sure they're properly expended. So I want to thank our Finance and Procurement Department under the leadership of Dr. Dave B. Also want to recognize the architect as well as the construction firm that came up with this great design and ultimately delivering on the construction project. Thank you. So let me just say just a few more words about the ATC. And that is the economic impact of civil aviation on the U.S. economy based on an FAA report from 2021. In the U.S., there will be more than 5,000 public use airports, more than 18,000 transport aircraft, more than 210,000 general aviation aircraft, 50 million airport operation individuals, nearly 1 billion U.S. air passengers, which is a 10-fold increase from a decade ago. Just 1 billion of us flying around in the air. So just keep that in mind in terms of the significance of this project overall. And the aviation industry amounts to about 5% of our GDP, contributes over 1.8 trillion to total economic activity, and supports nearly 11 million direct jobs in the industry. Again, thank you all for coming out here and supporting Pima Community College. This is a great day for the city of Tucson, Pima County, Southern Arizona, and for our great state of Arizona. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Lambert. Has anyone been keeping count? How many times have we thanked Senator Vince Leach? Any ideas? $15 million. So before I introduce Senator Gowan, I'd like to recognize State Senator Vince Leach one more time. He is was co-chair of the State Senate Appropriations Committee and played a big role in PCC securing the funding for this expansion. Senator, could you please just stand one more time so we can thank you and acknowledge your contribution? I think that's 5, but thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce State Senator David Gowan. He was first elected to the Arizona House of Representatives in 2009. During the 2015-2017 legislative session, he was elected to be the 52nd Speaker of the House. Most recently, he was elected to the Arizona State Senate, where he serves as chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee. Pima Community College is grateful to the state legislature for the $15 million legislative appropriation, which helped fund this project.
Morning. Look, we'll thank Senator Leach once again there. Been partner in crimes for 4 years. He's been a strong vice chairman for me. Certainly as we look for Southern Arizona, the needs that we have down here, protect our region. You know, as I like to say out there, we have 30 districts and 20 of them are from Maricopa region. at least tie into Maricopa region. So the rest are scattered around the state, and I think we have 5, 6 down southern Arizona. So to have the chair and vice chair of appropriations, what that means is, as appropriations chairman, I look at the budget for the whole state for the Senate. And Vince and I together did that for the last 4 years. And as such, you have the House side that has a chairman over there. And then she does that as well. And then you have, as you heard, the governor's office, their side. And we all come together in what we call this cage. It's like a cage fight. So we call it the cage, and we get together and we hash these ideas out. And when we were approached by Lee and Damien and their team about this, this dream, I would say, we listened. And we wanted to bring more economic viability to southern Arizona. And this helps us, especially in these careers and jobs that you receive from this institute, Pima Community College. But this is a wonderful dream realized. And you can say thank you to us and all. We just manage the money. Thank you guys for putting the money into the pot. That comes from our citizens. That's your money. And we just need to manage it properly, so we put it where it needs to go. And with your vision, we were able to take that and look at this. I remember when we first started the dream over here on the other side, and we had the ribbon cutting. It wasn't over here, but I haven't gone through here just yet. And I'm looking forward to that, to see what the fruition is here from all these students here. But when we did that, who would have known here's the dream sitting here now, and this quickly for all of our citizens down this way. And it was just a no-brainer, right? So you guys do a wonderful job. You teach the kids well down here, and community colleges get a little lump, right? I mean, they don't get the prestiginess as maybe a university does. Got any U of A guys out there? Okay, good. So I'm not going to say good things here. No, I'm just joking. It's a great next step up there. But our community colleges, they put the workforce out. That's what they do. And once you realize that, you know how to manage these dollars. You know what you need to do. And this was a great expansion to this great college. And I'm proud that we were able to do that. Senator Leach and I be able to manage those dollars, get them down this way so we can do that. And we look forward to more great things for southern Arizona, right? You will always see a fighter, and even both of us here. I know I'm going on, but he's going to be right there chewing on my heels. I know that. And we're going to keep fighting for southern Arizona and making sure that Maricopa hears us. So with that, I want to say thank you guys. Thank you for inviting me to just speak on this. I mean, I'm not anybody but a guy that got elected, just so you all know that. The seat belongs to us, and I just happen to sit in it. And so with that, I appreciate all you've done to help me get to where I am so that I can do these things. But at the end of the day, let's make sure that we get these guys working so that our economy continues to churn and that we continue to be a high demand state in this union. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the students here that are going to make that happen and work, right? You guys having a good time out here? Yeah, you like it. Good. God bless you guys. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Senator Gowan. I know Dave's back there, so I would like to next welcome Dave Querio, President and Managing Director of Ascent Aviation Services. And since he's still walking, I also want to thank Dave and the Ascent team because they have been very strong supporters of our advisory group for aviation.
Thanks, Greg, and thank you, Chancellor Lambert. I had a canned speech I was going to say, but I think I just got to say wow. Wow at the turnout, wow at this facility, and wow at the number of students that you guys have enrolled here. Great job, Dean Wilson, Director Bowersock, and certainly Chancellor Lambert and your entire team. As Dean Wilson said, I have the pleasure of serving as President and CEO of Ascent Aviation Services. We have 3 facilities, one about a block down the road, one at Pinal Air Park up in Marana, and one in Roswell, New Mexico. Why is this expansion so important to us? You're going to hear a common theme, but before I do that, I better thank Senator Leach. I don't want to break the string, so thank you very much. Back in 2018, I got to, as Chancellor Lambert said, I got to be a part of the team that was up petitioning for the funds to be added to expand on this facility. And I can tell you I was absolutely thrilled when I found out that Governor Ducey added the funds. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for everybody that petitioned to the funds. You've heard a lot of numbers about the needs of technicians. During COVID, in the United States alone, 23,000 aviation technicians left the industry. That's about 8% of the United States total technicians that left either through retirement or just because of layoffs and reductions in force. Okay, we employ 550 people throughout our 3 facilities, and we are currently 130 technicians short. So I'll be over in the corner with business cards, students. What does that mean? Of the 23,000 people that retired, the average seniority, the average experience level, and you'll get differing numbers based on who you listen to, 16 years. So over 350,000 man years of experience left our industry. I've been in this industry since 1984. I know I only look about 35, but and I have never seen our industry in such a shortage of technicians. You know, I've been working with Pima Community College on the advisory board since about 2006, been affiliated with the Pima since 2004, and I'm blessed to serve as the president of the advisory committee, working with Pima Community College, working with industry, working with government officials to try to promote the growth here. So this is a very special day for me. Okay, to the students, I'm jealous. I never had anything growing up in this industry or when I went to school that was anywhere near this. Okay, you guys learn, study, pay attention, always remember, you're gonna learn something new every day. And on the day you don't, you just learn something new, okay? Keep the focus. I'm so proud and I am so pleased that you guys elected to come into aviation maintenance. It's a great field. It's not glitz and glamour, but it'll take you all around the world. So thank you, be smart, and again, always know you're gonna be in high demand. To everybody else that supported this program, thank you very much. We're gonna continue to grow our presence in Pima community, or in Pima County and Pinal County for that matter. And this school is just the first step. So go take it. I don't know if you guys know this, but it went from 5 cohorts to 7 cohorts, and in the spring it's going to 9 cohorts. That's doubling the number of output that they're putting into industry of technicians. And if we can keep those people here, what does that do to the economic impact? So thank you again. Greg, thank you for allowing me to be present here today. It's a true honor, and all I gotta say is Pima Community College, well done, well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Earlier I mentioned that I would ask you to be patient because we had a lot of folks to thank besides Vince. And so I'm just going to go through this list because a lot of names have been mentioned, but a lot of names have not yet been mentioned. And I mentioned that this is all about community and all of the folks that came together to make this happen. So I'm going to read a list of names, and if you would please wait and just give one big giant applause at the end. We mentioned Governor Ducey and Matt Gress. I would also like to thank the Sun Corridor team. They are great partners of the college and helped specifically with the economic analysis that went into the proposal that resulted in the $15 million. Our friends at PAG, Farhad Mohimi and Jamie Brown, Jonathan Patton and Libby Howe. I'd like to thank Ian Rourke and the workforce team. I also saw Ruben, who was here with M3, and Ruben and Scott with M3 and the whole team, as well as Rodney and the whole Barker team as well. There's a team that has been meeting quite a bit at the college to kind of go over all of the details. So I'd just like to read through that list. Brandy Delana, David B., Dolores Duran Serta, David DeRay, Dan Lance Leppert, Butch Melser, Evan Goldberg, Gareth Rixton, Isaac Abbs, Joyce Jaden, Morgan Phillips, Tom Davis, Phil Burdick, Troy Davis, and Terry Robinson. Can we please give all of those folks a real big hand? Jason, could you come up? We thank a lot of people, but there are a lot of details and stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we all don't know about. I'd just like to introduce everyone to Jason Bowersock, who is the Director of Aviation Technology. He represents aviation. He represents the team of faculty and staff. Most of them are behind you in the maroon shirts. Week in and week out, we would meet with M3 and Barker and IT and facilities in a trailer that was right here for a long time. So could you please just give a very big thank you to Jason?
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank everybody for coming out here. It's awesome to see so many familiar faces, some new faces coming out to check out our new facility. Obviously, thank you to Senator Leach once again. Keep the streak going. It's an exciting day for the program, for the community, and I think we're running short on time, so I'll try to keep this brief. I will be introducing one of our bright young students here to follow me up and close out the program for the day before we get to go inside and see the facility. But I did want to give a brief overview of our program, where it's been, where it's going, what this expansion means for the program. If you guys look to my right over here, a little over 50 years ago, some of the first aviation courses at Pima Community College, well, the first courses at Pima Community College in general, were conducted in these hangars over here, right? Fast forward about 20 years from there, and our structural repair program was established that really got this aviation program up and running in 1990. In 2001, Hangar 1, just to the south of this beautiful new facility, was opened up. And a few short years after that, we expanded out into what we teach today as our core program of airframe and power plant. And as Mr. Quirio had mentioned, you know, there's never been a better time to be in this industry to try and go out there and find a real meaningful career. In 2008, we expanded once again, and we added our avionics training program. That program, along with structural repair, still alive and healthy today to complement our airframe and power plant technicians. And in 2016, we established our Part 65 airframe and power plant program. The whole premise behind that program is to take our military veterans who actually have experience in aviation maintenance already and get them their civilian credentials so that they can go to work once they've completed their military training. It's been a fantastic program for us. The majority of my faculty and staff here are veterans, so we hold it, you know, that program close to our heart, and we really love that program. Also in 2016, Ian Rourke, he's around here somewhere, he had come up to Greg and I and asked us, what is it going to take to shorten that waiting list that you guys have? At the time, it took over a year to get into this program, which for industry was way too long. Adding on top of that another year and a half to get through the program. So, I mean, the answer seems simple, right? We double our faculty and staff. We double the size of the facility and the available classrooms, our equipment, and $20 million would help as well. He didn't have that at the time. A couple years later, you know, we were fortunate enough to receive that appropriation from the state and get this project going. And since then, you know, as Greg mentioned, the size of the facility growing, the assets that we have on hand, we had fewer than 10 aircraft at the time. Now we're up to 20 aircraft. We had 6 faculty, we're up to 10 faculty now. We had 4 staff members, we're up to 8 staff members now. So all the doubling that was required to go into this, to sustaining this program has happened in the last, 4 years, I think it was now. It's been great to be a part of that, and I can't wait to see where this goes in the future. In addition to the expansion over the last couple of years, we also received about $500,000 to start a non-destructive testing program. And this was something that, wasn't a brand new idea to me or my current faculty and staff. It was something that our predecessors have been working toward for quite a long time. And thankfully, we were fortunate enough to be awarded a grant from the FAA to start that non-destructive testing program that will start next fall. So we're very much looking forward to that as well. And then additionally, we received $500,000 from the Brown Family Foundation to start a UAS program, an unmanned aircraft systems program. So those are just 2 things that we have to look forward to in the future, once we're fully settled into the new facility and we continue to advance this program. Another advancement we made over the last couple of years is that our program went completely paperless with our students. So love them or hate them, all of our students are working on iPads. So there's some mixed emotions there, right? We're the first in the college to really go this direction. So we're kind of the test bed for it, and we're working through those issues. But we are completely paperless, and what that enabled us to do was in the southwest corner of Hangar 1, when you go walk around, make sure you stop into that corner and you take a look at our new veteran space. It's something that we've been hitting very hard over the last couple of weeks, trying to get it prepared for this opening event. So please take a look over there. It's a great new space. About 15% of our population are typically are veterans. And like I said before, more than half of my staff are veterans as well. So we're very excited about that space. Before I bring up our student speaker, I did want to acknowledge some individuals. First and foremost, my faculty and staff. Excuse me. None of this, the hangar's great, we love it, but none of this is possible without building a fantastic program. So we have some faculty members. I see John Berriman over here to my left, a previous faculty member, still friend to the program, right? We're still good, John? Like I said, none of this is possible without the great support of the faculty and staff to build the program, sustain the program, and advance the program. And that's what we continue to do every day. So I did want to acknowledge all of those individuals. You'll see them around in the red shirts. Again, that's another love-hate relationship with the shirts, but it's easy for me to identify where they are. So that's fantastic. And then our industry partners. We have 2 that have stepped up over recent years. Definitely Dave Quiriel and the team at Ascent Aviation. I believe Neil Stevens is out there with them as well. Can you guys raise your hands for me, please? Right over here to my left, to your right. Please give them a round of applause. Yes. So recently, they have taken into possession this 727 that sits behind me in this hangar. And they gave it a facelift. They donated over 1,300 hours into refinishing this aircraft and then the materials that were required to do so as well. And this is going to be an extremely strong, powerful recruiting tool for the program. Our students use this aircraft every day, so it's not just a pretty centerpiece in the hangar, it's very functional for us. So again, thank you to Ascent Aviation for doing that. Also in the crowd over here to my left, I believe I saw James Hayes and Ken Hernandez. If you guys could raise your hands, please. When we're going through, thank you, round of applause there. While you're walking through the facility, please do not ignore Hangar 1. Over in Hangar 1, we do have the donation that SkyWest Airlines made to our program just at the end of August. It is a CRJ-200 aircraft, and this aircraft really helps us to modernize our fleet and give us an asset that is very similar to what students are going to be working on as soon as they leave this program. So that donation is invaluable to the program. We greatly appreciate it. And in recognition of those 2 donations, when you are touring the facility, there are 2 classrooms upstairs that we are branding and sponsoring for those 2 industry partners. So there's going to be one for Ascent Aviation Services and one for SkyWest Airlines. They're a work in progress, but you will see the privacy screening and kind of a rendition on a board of what we're planning for those 2 classrooms. So very excited about that as well. All right, I think that was everything I need to cover. So at this point in time, I would like to open up our closer. We saved the best for last. The student speaker is Miss Suzanne Roy, AKA Susie. Here she comes. And again, thank you all very much for attending. Very happy that you could all be here.
Thank you, Jason. Glasses are coming off. Good morning, everyone. My name is Susie Roy, and I'm an airframe and power plant student here at Pima Community College. When I attended my orientation in July of 2021, the new hangar was just bones with chains and cables swinging in the wind. At orientation, prospective students were shown a concept video which showed us the future of our campus. 5 new state-of-the-art classrooms, 5 new cutting-edge lab spaces, and more than double the existing hangar space. It was hard to imagine that in just over a year, the expansion would be reaching its final stages of completion and be ready for us to be used. Since completion, the improvements promised in the completion video, or the concept video, have not only been met, they have been exceeded. Every day, we as students are surprised by the commitment to the advancement of our program from the funding that we were provided. The expansion allowed us to grow our fleet with a generous donation of a Bombardier CRJ-200 from SkyWest Airlines, which Jason just mentioned. It's over in Hangar 1. We'll go take a look at it. This brought modernity to our fleet and will better prepare students for when they enter the workforce. Pima Community College has long been a proponent for trade skills education. The college's dedication to responding to the growth needs of trades jobs is admirable and is what led me to choose the path of becoming an aircraft maintenance technician. Historically, maintainers have generally had some kind of military background, leaving individuals without that military experience in the dark about how to enter the aviation world. Pima Community College bridges the gap between those with prior experience and those without, leading them both to fulfilling lucrative careers in aviation maintenance. In a 2022 study published by the Boeing Company, it was reported that there will need to be over 600,000 new aircraft maintainers to be trained and enter the workforce by 2041. The funding that Pima Community College has received for the Aviation Technology Center's expansion will ensure more students from diverse backgrounds will be able to enter the aviation field, helping to fill the intense need for maintenance technicians. I am one of those diverse students. I don't have a military background, and I didn't grow up in a mechanically inclined household. I spent over 7 years, including all of my teens and into my 20s, professionally studying to sing classical music. I devoted all of my time, money, and energy into vocal training, and when the COVID-19 pandemic hit in March of 2020, my training and working in the field came to a halt. I was lost, realizing that my love for the arts had dwindled and I needed a change. I moved to Oregon, and then I moved back. I came to school, and then I left. I worked odd jobs, and I felt so alone and adrift, and eventually found myself working on my car in my dad's driveway. I found the passion that I had lost for the arts in mechanics. I loved working on my car, and I decided to look at Pima's various mechanics programs. I found the aviation technology program, and I was hooked, and I have never looked back. During the 18-month program of airframe and power plant technicians, we move through the courses as a cohort. The cohorts become a second family. We spend nearly 40 hours a week together, cultivating relationships that will last a lifetime. We've laughed together, we've cried together, and grown our skills together. We recently lost a member of our second family, friend and classmate Richard Nussbaumer, who passed away unexpectedly earlier this week. Words cannot express how much we will all miss him. I have about 6 months left in the airframe and power plant technician program. but I cannot wait to see how Pima's aviation technology program continues to grow and flourish and produce top-of-the-line mechanics. Thank you, folks, for coming out today.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Jason. We mentioned earlier that we had doubled the number of aircraft, doubled the team. Another important factor that everyone should know is that we will be doubling our capacity and the number of graduates. So instead of 125 students able to go through the program, we will be able to serve 250 in a given year, and our number of graduates in a year will increase from 75 actually to more than 150. We're looking at 180, something in that nature, because it also includes our JTED students as well as our Part 65. And with that completion idea, I would also like to thank JTED. I know Kathy and Patty were here, and the whole JTED team, as well as JobPath, Anna, Christine, and Jess, who help our students see their way through. So if we could just give them a quick thank you. And now it is time to cut the ribbon. So I'm going to ask a few folks if you would come up and grab a pair of scissors. Senator Leach and Senator Gowan and Chancellor Lambert, and Chair Ripley and Vice Chair Klinko and Jason and Susie. I think we're cutting it close, but we're going to be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Dave Querio. And Meredith A. All right, if you'd step up to the ribbon. And if the crowd could help cheer everybody on, we'll count it down. 3, 2, 1, cut. Thank you all for coming today. We know the sun is coming out, but if you want to start making your way this way, we are going to start touring the facility. And I'm going to point to Jason and the team if you want to come up. We're ready to start leading everybody on tours of the facility. Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you. Was that okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks for everything you did. I meant this when I saw you yesterday. Like, it looks fantastic.
The building made
Kinda
it
does it.
easy. Oh, yeah.
Makes right. All you're doing is showing it off.
Yeah.
Nice job, young man.
Thank you.
Been a while since I saw you.
How you been?
I'm doing well.
Good to
Doing
see
well.
you.
Doing well. I remember starting this ship back in